There are not many organizations that are supporting foster families and foster kids to the extent that Coyote Hill is. The landscape of foster care is very uncomfortable, very painful, there's a lot of hurt feelings. There's just a lot of emotion that goes into fostering, both on the parents' end and the kids' end, and the amount of support and grace and just different things that Coyote Hill provides along the way as they're walking on that journey is what makes them different. I don't think there's other organizations that are quite like them.
Coyote Hill has changed our life forever. Josh and I, we moved to Coyote Hill at the children's home in May of 2018. We'd only been married for about a year. We had no kids. We just wanted to go serve and love foster children. And while we were there, we got to learn and grow in our marriage, but also ourselves, and really get to learn the needs of foster care in Missouri.
I was coaching football in my first career. I was coaching alongside of a guy named Dan Hopkins at the University of Missouri. He was the director of football operations. I was getting married to Carrie and got the invite to the wedding. And when I was there were all these kids like running around and playing, and I had no idea what that was about. Found out that she worked at a children's home.
Once Josh and I met Carrie, our chief development officer, and just talked about foster care for a really long time.
Brittany and Carrie just hit it off. They had that foster care in common. They hit it off, and that's how the journey began. We flirted with the idea of going and checking it out, and one day they called and we were like, well, they were like, well, do you want to come down for an interview? And we said, sure. And we were like, can we be there tonight? And so on a Friday at like 4 o'clock, we left for Coyote Hill.
We went down and we toured it, and it was like, oh my goodness, this is such an oasis.
We were amazed by it, but it was almost too good to be true. I was scared. I never thought I was going to be a foster parent. And so we said no. They offered us, they wanted us there, but we were afraid. But it kept coming back. We believe God is consistent and He's persistent, and He was consistent. The message kept coming. So we finally said yes, and by May we were there. And that was kind of the rest of it. So.
While we were there, we ended up adopting our 3 kids, and that has been amazing. They had walked with us the entire time, before adoption, in the middle of the process, and even almost 2 years after we adopted our kids. They're still in our lives.
Finally getting to the day where they were officially ours, and we couldn't even do it in the courtroom. We had to do it on Zoom because of COVID, but we had my family in from Ohio, and it was just a really big deal. And so, we don't have children of our own. Well, we do. We have 3, but we don't have children from Brittany and I. But God gave us 3 kiddos who are ours for the rest of our lives. So it's really exciting. My advice to someone considering fostering would be to examine your heart and recognize if you are willing to get uncomfortable for a child who has had the ultimate curveball thrown into their life, where they're not at home, they're not feeling safe, they're not around people they know. And search your heart and see if you're willing to have enough faith to take a step out and to get uncomfortable to help make a child comfortable.